Hi, in this video I want to concentrate or focus on two properties of the sexual energy in the human being. And those two properties are that the sexual energy in the human being is a volatile, powerful force, and the second one is that the sexual energy or the sexual force in the human being is a blind force. Okay, so the more we know about the nature of our sexual energy, the better. Better in the sense that we will be able to use it to benefit ourselves, and in another way, we will be able to control it. So knowledge is power. The more knowledge we have, the better for us. Okay, so I think that's an important aspect, that the sexual energy is something very volatile and something very powerful. It's something very definite. It's also something that doesn't like to stay still or doesn't store very well. It's a very dynamic force, it's the force of creation. And if we look at life, the life in a city, the life in a jungle, you'll see that that life on this planet is extremely vivid, extremely alive, extremely powerful. It's something that's full of life, and behind all of that is the sexual energy. So the sexual energy is exactly that, something dynamic, volatile, movement, vital, vivid, full of life. So that applies to our very own sexual energy. So the sexual energy in us has to move, has to express itself, and there comes the problem, or I rather would say the interesting point. So knowing that the sexual energy is very dynamic, very volatile, and has to move, there comes a decision on our part. What are we going to do with that sexual energy when it wants to move in us? Well, of course, as in everything in life, we have two choices: to use it for the good or use it for the bad. And of course, in this video, I want to talk about what is convenient, what is helpful, what is useful, what betters, what edifies, what dignifies our life. And the sexual energy can really help immensely in that way. Providing that we use it wisely and use it correctly, and use it for something that is beneficial for us. Okay, so the sexual energy, of course, is very dynamic and volatile, but it's also a blind force. It's up to us to direct it, or to channel it, or to use it. So it is blind. It's not really responsible for what happens. Rather, we are responsible for what happens with our sexual energy. There's just a force there, a vital, powerful force that wants to move, and it's always us, our mind, our consciousness, our heart, our emotions, etc., that give it a direction, that give it some sort of channeling. Okay, so the best thing I can say in this video is that the best thing we can do with our sexual energy is to channel it inward, channel it into something. So the sexual energy is very dual. It either goes out or it goes in. When it goes out, well, that's when we can create disasters, problems, conflicts, make our life a mess. And of course, the lives of other people too. But if we channel it inward, then we're retaining that creative force within us. Then that creative energy can be transformed into other forms of energy, which we can use to create, to illuminate ourselves, to impregnate our consciousness with that energy, to channel it into our psyche, to develop or activate certain faculties, certain parts of our brain. We can use that energy to like deconstruct certain psychological negative patterns or negative ways of thinking, and allow new ones, more flexible, virtuous ones, to appear instead. And so the sexual energy is really amazing, really marvellous. I just want to conclude this video with one statement, is that the sexual energy brought us to life, created us, and so it is really the only authentic power in us that can transform us and create something new out of us. Okay, so in subsequent videos I'm going to be talking about how we can channel this energy. Okay, so stay tuned and thank you for listening and watching. Bye.